Hello and welcome to the Circle of Love and Light. I'm Dr. Jane Mountrose, your host, and I'm here with my beautiful co host, Gretchen Comer. She's an empowerment coach and an energy healer, and Loola Mora, who is a holistic life coach and healer. So we're all actually healers and coaches of one sort or another. And we have a lot of tips for you today. We're going to be talking about keeping your spirits up, feeling good, and getting the most from life. It sounds like a lot, but they actually they're all the same thing. Because technically, I think you do get the most from life when your spirits are up and you feel good. So that's what we're going to discuss. It also is it's great for everything, your health, manifesting what you want, being in a position to just enjoy your life. It all fits together. So thank you for joining us and opening to be a source of love and light for the world. I think it's so important. And that reflects on this same theme that if the whole world was feeling good and actually loving one another, it would be quite a different place. So the circle, with that in mind, provides an opportunity for all of us to come together to light up our own lives, heal, grow, and help to create a more loving world. And we're going to have opportunities in all of those areas. Today, we're going to have a wonderful uh, guided meditation that includes opening to more love and light and also some healing, a simple way that I do healing in my meditations in the morning. So we'll be sharing that. And right now, before we start our discussion, I'd just like to take a moment for us all to settle and kind of bring our energy together. So you might want to, if you want, if you're in a safe place to close your eyes, you might even want to close them for a moment and just focus on breathing, just being in your body and breathing. Breathing is so effective for actually for keeping your spirits up and all of the things that we're talking about today because it gets you out of your head and more into your body. And you can focus also on breathing into your heart, into that beautiful ball of light that is there. And just allowing yourself to feel present now. I feel so good.
Mm.
Okay, so to continue, as I mentioned or suggested, keeping your spirits up is a really powerful intention to have. Um, for me, it's just about the most important one that I have during the day each day because I know how many benefits it has. And so I'd just like to begin to ask you, the two of you ladies, if you'd like to tell us a little bit about why this is so important to you. Go ahead,
Sure.
Gretchen. Somebody
Okay.
start.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, it really is important. And I feel like if I can start my day right, that is usually very helpful to how the rest of the day flows. And I just try to take advantage of the laying in bed when I'm still waking up in the morning. I'm tuning into the sunrise or the light that's shining into the bedroom. And I just start to get excited. It's a brand
Mm-hmm.
new day. It's a fresh start. Lucy Maud Montgomery once said in the series of books Anne of Green Gables, and I'm probably dating myself by saying,
It's okay.
um, but their teacher says something wonderful. She says, tomorrow is a new day with no mistakes in it. And I feel like that's kind of the way it is, not that we make mistakes, but we feel like that sometimes at the end of the day. So starting out your day is a great way to just have that flow throughout the whole day. And I like to start with when I wake up. And so for me,
Mm-hmm.
it's important to kind of start when I wake up, and I make little changes throughout the week. I try not to do everything exactly the same way when I get up. I try to break up the routine a little bit. Still getting
Yeah.
everything done, that I normally do every morning, but giving myself just a little change sometimes. Maybe I make the coffee first, maybe I feed the cats first. Just little changes, that kind of make it a little more interesting and exciting. Um, and for me, I often tune into, I think about, I'm going to learn something today, or I'm going to
Mm-hmm.
create something today, and that gets me excited long before I even get out of bed and get dressed. So,
Mm-hmm.
so those are some ways that I really like to start. That's important to me because it really sets the tone for the rest of the day for me.
Right. Right.
Yeah,
And I agree with that too, that it's so important to start early and preferably to make a habit of it as you're rising out of bed, because
Absolutely.
then the whole day can be more enjoyable. So
yeah.
Lula, would you like to share a little bit about that too?
Of course. Actually, I was listening to Gretchen and I was like doing like my routine, like following up my steps and yeah, I do almost the same. Like when I'm still in bed, I actually like start like realizing, okay, it's a new day, like I wake up and sometimes I'm like, okay, it's a new day, like landing after my sleep. And
Right.
I love to feel that they're like a little kid that is getting to have like a surprise, or like a gift. And with that, like feeling and that emotion of excitement to start my day, for sure. There are other days that, or some days that I don't feel so like energized. For sure,
Hmm.
I'm a human. So when I notice that or I feel that, I allow myself to change like my routine too. And sometimes I go and make some coffee or I start chanting. That I call that my spiritual coffee. When I chant is the
Hmm.
way I feel, it's like, okay, I can start my day. Or sometimes I do some stretching or yoga or something that gives me like a way to start, or a bright. Or sometimes what I do is that I put a song that is resonating with me and I sing the song as I'm in my stage. That gives me
Hmm.
a lot of like happiness, and like energy. Or when I feel sad, something that I do that actually sometimes I try what I do, that is that I hug myself, you know, and it's like, okay, I'm like here with myself, and everything's gonna be okay. We're gonna have a great day. We're gonna get that surprise, because every day is bringing something.
Hmm.
So
Right.
yeah, I
Yeah.
have like little routines or like rituals that I used to change, because something that I don't like is like when I'm already know the rhythm of my day, or it's gonna be like for long time, I get worried. So I don't
Hmm.
like it. So yeah,
Yeah.
I do the same like Gretchen, is like changing a little bit here and there.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, it's so important. I do want to say Sharon Williamson is with us and she sends us love, which is nice. We'll send it back. And to anybody else who's here. And please, if you're here, feel free to comment, let us know where you're from and say hello. So it's interesting. I've found for myself. I used to be an architect and I didn't enjoy what I was doing at all. And I really didn't want to get up in the morning. And that all changed like almost instantaneously when I started doing a practice we call soul centering, just connecting with the love in my heart in the morning. And it wouldn't actually necessarily be the first thing. I actually make tea. And sometimes I'll listen to little morning prayers and things on from YouTube. I like the two of you. I do different things first thing. Um, but I think the just having that sense of feeling alive and connected with that love in your heart makes a big difference. It did for me. Now that was like more than 30 years ago. And I wake up and I can't wait until it's time to get up in the morning. Sometimes I try to keep myself in in bed until a certain time, so that I don't overdo it, and get too tired during the day. But sometimes I'll wake up a little early and I just have to wait, until, oh, can I get up now? Like a little kid, it's like, it's morning, I'm alive. Look, what
Yeah.
a day. And then I think I have I have my breakfast and exercise, and then I actually do my meditation after that. And I think that that's an important time too to have, whenever it is. If it's first thing, but sometime early in the day, to have some kind of a practice where you spend a little time. just being reflective and quiet. And I also have found for myself, I have this thing I do. In fact, this is my one from today. And I write a list. I usually write a list of 3 things that I want to accomplish, approximately that, in the day. Because if I don't have kind of a sense of what my priorities are, because there are so many things happening here, I can get anxious, not like I'm missing something. And so I write them down, and I try to make it easy so that I can accomplish them even maybe fairly early in the day, and then I feel like, wow, I'm a success right away. And then I generally, actually, I didn't do it this morning because I forgot, but if I can get another one out here. Oh, that one's kind of messy. Here's one from a couple days ago. Then I put my focus, and I usually do something like I want to be in the flow with joy and ease. And I think Gretchen mentioned flow earlier. Flow is a really wonderful place to be. Just kind of, oh, I'm flowing now, and not ungrounded, grounded, but flowing. But it just is that sense of not being stuck at all, or especially, and it, I think mentally especially. So anyone, would either of you like to share kind of your morning practices?
Sure. Generally, I like to make contact with outside. It doesn't matter what the weather is. It's one of the first things I generally do after I've taken care of all my the little things in the morning routine is I really like to go outdoors and just kind of greet the day that way and just check everything out, see what's going on, listen to the birds. I usually go feed the birds, and my cat comes tooling along, I call that her nature TV. I'm turning on your nature TV for you. And because the birds all gather, she loves that. But it really it grounds me into my day, and it makes me feel like I'm part of something bigger. It's not just me hyper focused on myself. And so it's really grounding for me. It's very refreshing this time of year in Virginia. It's very cold and crisp. So it's another great way just to kind of embrace the season. We go through these cycles in life, just like the seasons. And so we can kind of fully embrace that. And I have the good fortune of seeing kind of 4 specific seasons here in Virginia. So nature is a big part of my day. Usually I'm outside as frequently as I can be, even in inclement weather. I have good raincoats and umbrellas, or good parkas if I need them.
Yeah, I think
But for me,
another, I don't know if you try to get up and be out when the sun comes up. I've kind of forgot to mention my husband and I, Philip, we
yes,
usually walk our
yes.
dogs as the sun is coming up. So the time varies during the year. But I think that's really valuable too, to greet the sun.
Right, I agree. And I that's one of my favorite times of the day to take pictures. So I usually bring my camera out and start taking pictures. And that's another way that I attune with it too. And a lot of times it'll just elicit a prayer from me, or I'm just touched by the beauty of it. Or sometimes I'll sing a song. It's just whatever kind of comes through me in that moment, just admiring it, just being grateful for having this beautiful earth to live on. And that's really what grounds me into my day is by being outside. So. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. It's beautiful. How about
Lovely.
you, Lula?
Yeah, actually, it's very nice that we are like saying the same, but in according to where we live, like I live in the middle of the city. So like having those walks like in the middle of nature is like not really my option here.
Right.
But I'm doing almost the same, because for me it's really, if I don't open the curtains, I can't start my day, like I need light.
Right.
So when I do that and I see a little bit of the sun on how's the weather, I can sense my flow with the flow of the day, in a way, of nature, of
Right.
the weather, and that brings me present. That's something that like helps me to be here. And sometimes my next step could be like making some coffee, because the smell makes me like, be present and to feel joy.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes my husband did it before, so it's like that excitement of getting my coffee, and when I'm like doing or taking that step of drinking my coffee, I'm thinking of my next step, you know. Sometimes it's like my yoga practice for the day, or I chant because it's my second coffee, is my spiritual coffee. So I feel that if I don't chant at mornings, because in my practice we chant at morning and in the evening.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, okay, I'm gonna start. Is the way I focus, and while I'm chanting, there's a lot happening because there are thoughts, because it's the work of my mind to, you know, to start like wondering. But it's beautiful because it's a way that I'm connecting with my heart, and I'm allowing myself like to do my list in a different way, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I'm chanting and I take my notebook and write something that I get, like some ideas or some pendings, you know, and
Mm-hmm.
and I come back to my chant, and that's a thing. And I actually have an additional thing, is that I'm working with a coworker. We meet once per month, and we set the intention for the month. So her intention, my intention, and we use three specific like directions. You know what I'm gonna own up that month, or and step up, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and own. So with that in mind, every day during that specific month, I'm having that in my heart and in my mind. So doing my chanting, when I'm drinking my coffee, I'm having that in mind. That is like my inner work, plus the task of my day, you know, that I
Mm-hmm.
learned because I'm really active. And for me, everything is a project, and I get excited with everything. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm so passionate that I used to have like lists from 20 things. And then I
Right.
was, yeah, and I
Yeah.
was
I
getting
had to,
guilt.
I narrowed mine down because it calms me. And then
Exactly.
I might have a longer list uh, on a larger notepad of kind of my long term, a lot of what the long term goals are that I want to accomplish. So I don't lose that. And I think that that's helpful too, just for me to have as much of it as I can written down so I don't lose lose it or forget it. Um,
Exactly.
yeah.
Or
Yeah. And I
sometimes
think
not only,
there are
sorry.
things I wanted to mention also. There are, for people maybe who don't have a morning practice, something that is highly recommended by many people. I don't, I, this is not one I do myself, but I do focus on is gratitude. You can have a gratitude journal, and in the morning, just sit down and write maybe three things you're grateful for. And a gratitude is something to return to anytime during the day or at the end of the day as you're retiring, because that lifts your spirits too. It opens your heart. And it doesn't have to be anything big. You can be grateful for anything. You know, just I'm grateful that I have this ice water here, you know, and that's gratitude. And you can also be grateful that there are blessings coming to you. So you can be grateful, kind of in manifesting, be grateful for the blessings that are on their way, because then you're actually affirming that they're coming.
Yeah, I actually have kind of a short mantra that I do with that throughout the day, but I often do it in the morning once I've had my time outside. And that's, I am grateful for all that I have. I'm grateful for all that I do. And I'm grateful for all that I am receiving, so that I feel like I'm always working in the past, the present, and the future, kind of in giving that gratitude out that way. So that lifts me up too. And I often make my little list of things to do after I've had my morning excursion outside. So
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah. Yeah.
and I love that you mentioned about like writing and being grateful for things. And there's another practice that I do sometimes, not all the times, that is called morning pages. So, and that used to happen in my life when I'm really in a monkey mind state, that I'm having so many thoughts, and sometimes I feel overwhelmed and not so in a good place. So it's great because it's a way, how I say it, is like it's a way to clean, you know, to use like to empty your trash, in a way.
Right.
So I set my timer 5 minutes and I start writing everything that is coming to my mind without a filter. So I'm in a way like letting all those thoughts going, like I'm paying attention to you through this writing, and then it's done and I can like start or continue like my day or what I want to do. So yeah, I try to do it at mornings. Yeah, it's called morning pages because of that. So maybe there's someone that is like not in a very lighting place. So I think as humans we have those days too. So it's like a good way like to clean, and then it's easier to tap to those like feelings of great gratitude or other like uh, higher emotions, no? Because we are as energetic beings, we sometimes are like vibrating not so in a higher frequency. So yeah, is one of the things that I do and helps me a lot actually.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. And then I think during the day, it's it's important to have kind of a goal. Like I want to feel like I'm in a happy, loving state, more or less, you know. And maybe happiness isn't the way some people would define it, but it could be just a present, peaceful state you're looking for, however you want to define that. Um, and the goal is actually for me also to watch for momentums. You know, we get into these momentums where it's like, now I have to do this and now I have to go there. And we're kind of like just continually grasping for the next thing that needs to be done rather than saying, now I'm going to be in my body in the moment. And we always have the opportunity when we catch ourselves doing that kind of momentum thing to just slow down and breathe again, and always breathing into your heart. I mean, that's a wonderful meditation, just breathing into your heart. And there, we have a whole thing, lots of things you can do along with it too, um, that make it a beautiful meditation. But anytime during the day, just stopping and taking a few breaths really makes an amazing difference. It's surprising sometimes,
Yeah, I
and it
noticed.
feels so good.
I noticed that. I'm so glad you said that, Jane, because I noticed that when I'm working, sometimes I can be really just hyper focused on work, but I set actual reminders in my phone. And I'll actually have it check in with me. My phone will say, "How are
Have
you
a
doing?"
check in. What
My phone
are
will say,
you doing?
"How are you doing?" And that "How are you doing?" makes me realize, oh wow, another hour has passed and time has flown. And so I often get up, I stretch, I'll walk around, I'll drink some water, and then I'll sit back down. And that just that little tiny bit lifts my spirits. I
Hmm.
feel refreshed just because I remembered to set a reminder in my phone. And sometimes we have to do that along the way.
Hmm.
We have to
Yeah.
just set little reminders, and we don't want
Hmm.
these things to become like a chore. We want it
No,
to be
no.
enjoyable. So
Make them, yeah, a
yeah,
joy,
yeah.
really.
So instead of saying like drink water, do this, mine says, "How are you doing?"
Right. Yeah.
So it's just lighthearted. We can approach it lightheartedly, and it
Hmm.
reminds me that I need to pause. Yeah.
Right. Well, also, you could look at it as a treat, you know, to give yourself a break. That's what I
Right,
do. And
right.
if I walk around, maybe make myself a glass of water or a little snack, or just go outside for a minute or whatever it is. It's like that feels good to me. It's not it's not
Right.
like, oh no, I have to
Yeah.
have to do this.
Right.
Oh, yeah. And it reminds me also, I think there are some, for me, just guidelines of things to watch for, that I watch for, like cooperating with the things you can't change. You know, you can waste a lot of energy getting all excited about something that's happening in the politics or whatever it is, something that somebody's doing somewhere. And there are a lot of atrocious things that are happening, but I think my understanding and firm belief is that the best thing we can do is be vibrating love, and of course joy, all of those things, gratitude, they all go together. So I want to be focused on that rather than the things that I'm not really that happy with in the world. And along with that, to not let little just little things that happen spoil my day. It's very easy, like you stub your toe or something, and I was, oh no, I'm going to have a terrible day now. Well, no, it's just it's one moment, then you go on to the next moment. So there are those kinds of things. Just watching our thinking. It was funny. This was not that long ago. I might have mentioned it to you, Gretchen, one time when we were talking. I started thinking about how complicated it is to be human.
Mhm.
Like you have to get up and make your bed, and you have to and you have to brush your teeth, and you have to comb your hair and get dressed. There are all these things that and make your breakfast, and then you have to do the dishes, and so I started really focusing on all the things, that this kind of progression of things that needed to be done during the day. And I started getting kind of depressed. And I realized, no, no. It's fine to be aware of those, but enjoy them. Find ways to bring joy to your experiences
Right, right, absolutely.
because we're just hurting ourselves.
Right, it doesn't serve anybody.
Right. And I
Right.
see Conchetta Ward has joined us. So hello, Conchetta. I hope I'm saying that right. Is that a friend of yours, Lula?
No, no.
Sounded like maybe, from Colombia or something. Um,
Jane, actually, what you were saying, music came to my heart all the time. I love to have music like as a company with many of the like things that I do if I'm
mhm,
able to.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
actually, I realize how joyful my soul gets with music, you
Mhm.
know? So, according to how I am like resonating, or sometimes something that I'm working on, like on any part of myself, sometimes my inner child or my teenager, for example. So, music helps me to tap with that parts of myself and like to bring sometimes not the good only, but the things that I want to keep working on, and at the same time the things that make me happy. Singing, I think, is something that gives me freedom,
Mhm.
you
Yeah.
know and
Mhm.
and a song, for a long song, 5 minutes, that is a lot, but it's less if you compare from all the time that you are working or doing something in autopilot, or so I think that's a great tool for anyone, to use music as a break or a company or something that
Mhm.
gives you
Yeah,
that
for sure.
flow, you
Right.
know
Yeah.
so is I think as humans we love music, different kinds, and
Mhm.
so you don't need to be like in the same channel with someone else or loving the same music, but you can make that with your time, have that 3 minutes and a half for a song, and keep moving and being present, and wanting, and like trying to focus on the good, because as you said, like i'm I have been having, like in my past, I have some episodes of depression, and the tendency is that you are focusing more on in the bad things than in the good ones,
Mhm.
and then
Right.
you start believing that that's the truth of your life.
Mhm. Right.
So
Yeah.
like doing
And that's
that
where
change
gratitude is
takes
great
time.
for just little
Exactly.
things that'll perk you back
That
up.
brings you here and like gives you that like excitement of being alive, or like that moment of feeling, that hey, nice, this song or the moving a little bit brings you through the body to the present moment,
Mhm.
and gives you a lot of little tips to be grateful for
Right.
and in
Yeah.
love.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. And that's something I think uh anybody can do is start writing a list of little things that make you feel good and incorporate more of them in your day. And it,
Yeah,
it can be also having things that you enjoy around you. I think music is great, and I spend a lot of time doing things with YouTube. They're just amazing. There's amazing music on YouTube. uh, like I have these little things all around, lots of pretty things and pretty things make me feel good. Another thing, dressing, in a way that is respectful to yourself as a wonderful spiritual being is also a wonderful practice to have, I think. Just really respecting yourself.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. I think, Jane, I know that you're an animal lover as well, and I think
Yes.
pets are also a way to kind of make us more lighthearted and uplift us throughout the day. You
Mm-hmm.
know, they're a good way to tune into that joy that's kind of always present with them. You know, so
Yeah.
it's a nice way to lift your spirits and to bring a little joy and light into your day as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I
Yeah.
guess it's been shown that people who have animals have pets actually, I think, live longer because they are so joyful. I
Yeah.
when you're talking, Lula, about singing, I made me think the other day. My dog Buddy, he usually comes up and he brings toys on the bed and he'll play on the bed while I'm trying to make it, which doesn't make it that easy, but he's very funny. So the other day I was singing I love Buddy, while I was making the bed. And he just loved it. He loved the song. And it's silly, but it was just very joyful. And he stopped everything he was doing and he was just listening, like, oh, she's singing about me.
Wow. Lovely energy. They
Yeah.
are, yeah, they
Yeah.
feel it.
Yeah. They're so
It's
sweet.
incredible. Yes, lovely. And like kids, it's so easy to see a baby, you put some and they start moving.
Hmm.
It's like it's something that we have with us.
Yeah.
It's part of our nature.
Yeah.
Everything is sound actually
Hmm.
in the universe. So it's a beautiful way to, and with kids, I think that every time that I'm like with some babies or taking care of some friends' babies or something like that, I'm like creating songs, like when I'm like feeding
Yeah.
them or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great tool. And when you see yourself, you're like, look at me, I'm singing and doing this. And from that moment, you are really present, actually, in a way that you forget. And then you see, like, am I singing? Like, okay, yes, I'm doing it. So is great. It's a great tool. And there are other ones. For example, I used to use post-its, and put it
Yes,
like
and
all
that's a
around.
good one too. Have notes like I'm in the flow with joy and ease, or it's a wonderful day. Another one of my favorites is something wonderful is happening today, and I'm going to find out what it is. And it actually works.
Yeah.
It's really amazing. Yeah,
I
yeah,
use it
yeah. That's a great
too.
one,
I
and you
Yeah.
can
learned
put
that
them
from you.
Yeah.
anywhere. Yeah,
I do
yeah.
too. I do too. And I try to think, I was saying before, to me, it's like, I find a lot of joy in learning something new or creating something new. So then there's a part of me that's like a little kid that's like, ooh, I get to do that today,
Right.
And
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
I kind of find that thing, when I'm laying in bed, like, what do I want to do today? What do I get to do today? And we know we have to do the routines. We may have to work, we may have to take care of children or pets, or we might be taking care of somebody at home, but there are definitely ways to get that kind of excitement going very early on, and carry that out throughout the day with all these little tips. So
Mhm.
yeah, it's highly
Right.
effective.
Yeah. 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 I think we could go on for quite a while with this. Um, and it's time right now to have our meditation, which is, and this is something else, um, as far as I know, all of us enjoy, is connecting with angels. And I work, I don't like the word work that much because it's like, oh, work. No, I connect with angels and talk to angels and benefit from the energy of angels pretty much every day. And I use that in my meditation often. And I've developed some kind of sequences of connecting with angels that I'm going to share one here that involves both like some uplifting energy and, as I mentioned at the beginning, some healing energy that is, to me, surprisingly powerful. I think it's a kind of transmutational uh, way of dealing with those things. And this is another thing that can happen. And I think we all realize this, all three of us. And we're not saying that there are never times when you don't become afraid or anxious or frustrated or angry or whatever it is. And healing, we have all kinds of healing techniques that we recommend for that. I also have this one angel, and we'll come to that actually in a moment here. So we're going to start that, and again we'll start with breathing. And if you're in a place where you can close your eyes safely and relax, that would be nice. Just breathing in pure energy and light from the universe around you into all the cells of your body, just inviting them to awaken more to that light. And in doing that, releasing anything that you don't need right now that might be disturbing you, any tension you sense in your body, any energy that doesn't feel good. We pick up energy from other people and other places too. So it's important to release all of that. And you can, in any moment, actually, with your intention, just ask for any energy that's not your own to leave your space. I think that's a great thing to do. Send it back lovingly where it came from, because we want to be ourselves in our own space and bring our own energy back too. Bring all of your own energy back to you now, energy that you might have left in other times or places, just so you can feel yourself in your body in the moment. Feels so good. And now I'd like to invite in Archangel Metatron. Archangel Metatron is considered to be one of the angels that's closest to God. And you might experience that energy as a beautiful, sparkling golden white light. And we can just ask for a cascade of energy from Metatron to flow down over us. Just beautifully, perfectly. And you might notice more how it feels. You might focus on the color and the sparkles. Sparkles, I love sparkles myself. And I think angels bring a lot of sparkling energy. And as we invite that energy, which is a very powerful and high energy, we can again allow anything that we're ready to release to flow down. I kind of imagine sometimes there's a lake of of light below me, that and anything that we want to release can go down there and come back around and be returned to light. So just feeling that energy. And Metatron, of course, is involved quite a bit with the process that humanity is undergoing now. Some people call it ascension. You could call it a dimensional shift, a rising to a higher way of being. And Metatron is very much involved with that. And he's grateful to all of us for being part of creating a world where love can prevail and where each of us can appreciate the gifts that we bring. Just feeling that support. And at the same time, as I mentioned, there may be something that you're sensing, that maybe there's a little fear there. There could be anger about something, frustration about something, and it might feel like that's interfering. And then when those times come, and just to clear out, it also can be something physical, like if I'm still sensing a little tension in the back of my neck here, I'd like to invite in Archangel Zadkiel and also Ascended Master Saint Germain, who's known for the violet flame. And Zadkiel is the angel who actually vibrates the violet light. And violet light is the highest light that is perceivable to us as humans, which makes it a very powerful light and energy for clearing. So we can now imagine a beautiful cascade of violet light, just the perfect color, the perfect amount for you. Just allow it to flow over you and through your body. with the intention of clearing anything that is not love and light in your field. Just bringing you back more to your wholeness. And when I do this, I also like to focus on sending that light into all the cells of my body. Our cells are all intelligent and they appreciate the light. They appreciate the healing. They appreciate the love. And you might even start to notice them kind of your little tingling sensation as you do that, because there's so much energy that comes in. And if you have any tension, as I did, just inviting that light into those areas. And if I have something that's disturbing me, I often will invite in this violet light, the perfect light for me, and just allow it to flow through me for a few moments. And what I find is, as I do that, and even I think when I'm not particularly noticing anything, what I'm feeling now is joy that comes up. It tends, and that surprised me when I started doing this. But reading about Saint Germain and the violet flame, that's one of the things they say, is that it transforms into joy and love. So you're transforming any incoherent energy, any lower energy, into joy and love. And you might start feeling that now as you invite that through you, just to clear out again anything that you don't need. And I'm noticing it in my mind too. It can help you to clear out any congestion you notice in your mind, in your thinking. So you can just feel free to be. And as we do that, then we can open more to the magic of life. And for that, I want to invite Archangel Raziel to join us. And Raziel, Raziel actually is one of the most joyful of angels, which is what drew me to him initially. And he's also known as the magician of the angelic realms, kind of like Merlin of the angels. And you might notice, as you invite a cascade of light from him, that he tends to send a rainbow of sparkling light. So you can just imagine sparkles of all colors coming down over you and through your body. And I like to imagine sending the perfect colors to all the cells. All of the cells can receive all the colors they want, or just the right colors for them. And opening to that magic, that feeling of magic. And again, a lighter, more lightheartedness. And noticing if you feel any different than you did when we started this process. I also would like to invite one more angel to join us. And this one is a more feminine energy. It's Archangel Jophiel. And Archangel Jophiel is known for helping us to appreciate the beauty within ourselves. The beauty, I think I perceive it more from a spiritual perspective, how beautiful we are as wonderful spiritual beings, each of us uniquely wonderful. And Jophiel often sends down rose petals. So you might imagine rose petals flowing over you in that beautiful kind of rosy kind of a light. And opening to the beauty within yourself, within and without, all around you. Each of us has unique beauty. Now I feel I feel very smiley. I hope others do too. I appreciate the angels so much. And if you aren't accustomed to working with the archangels, they are here for all of us. They're very powerful angelic beings. And they also value our will, our free will. So they won't connect with us unless we request them. but if we request them, then they are very much present. And I think the more we sense their energy, the stronger it becomes. And there's just so much that they can offer. So I want to thank all of them, Metatron and Azrael and Saint Germain coming together. Also, the Ascended Masters, very powerful beings. And then Archangel Raziel, the magician, and Jophiel. So thank you all. And for us here, we can just breathe now, focus on breathing in more active energy and grounding yourself. We want to be grounded in the world and also open to the divine. So when you're ready, just continue to breathe and you can open your eyes when you're ready. So what did you think?
Yeah.
I had a beautiful experience. We were all in a roller rink. All the angels were on roller skates, and there were bright lights, like the rainbow lights were kind of flashing everybody. The music was playing, and everybody was having like a really joyful time. That's what I saw. It was pretty amazing. So we were
Wonderful.
all roller skating to some fun music.
That's great.
Lovely. Was beautiful, Jane.
Thank
I
you.
had such an amazing experience. Actually, I was able to connect with each of the angels and archangels that you invited and to feel their presence, like step by step. I was able to feel the golden light, and in my case, when I close my eyes, there is like darkness, but I feel lights, like if I can sense colors in a way, like it's darkness, but with a little bit of something there. So I was able to feel the golden light there, like coming, then all the rainbows, and I was a little bit like dancing and rocking a little bit, and and then I felt all the roses and the petals of the roses like falling down, and I felt actually like a diva, like a princess a little bit. And I was sensing the smell actually because I love the smell of roses. So and I with Saint Germain, I was able to feel like the freshness, like when you enter and you are like on like in the shade, like fresh. And so from that part of feeling the golden light, like was a little bit of like not heat but warm. And then I feel that refresh, and then I went to the music and the colors of the rainbow, and it was like really organic, and I was able like to feel all of them. But this time I didn't feel I felt like one by one, each experience more than all together. And
Right. Right. And it is
I
interesting to invite
feel
different
really
ones
good
because
right now.
you can feel it. Yeah. Yeah. And it is the violet flame I've found that, and I don't particularly, some people imagine a flame going through. I really imagine, I just imagine the perfect violet light. And I've done it. Actually, my neck is feeling really good now. I've done it if I was experiencing some fear or anxiety about something or whatever. I do it, and it just turns it into joy, which it amazes me. It's like, oh, okay, I'll take that.
Just
So, and it's a
yummy.
very simple thing. Anybody can do that. So, and our goal in this meditation time, of course, is to bring ourselves more into that place of love and light, and just remind ourselves that when we're in a place like this, we are a gift to the world. And I like to imagine the planet kind of like from outer space where you see all the lights twinkling. And I see those of us who are interested in helping the planet and for humanity to lift itself to a higher way of being, um, we're like little points of light wherever we are, and we want to have those. There are points of light all over the world now, and I think we're becoming brighter. All of us are becoming brighter, and more of us are opening up to the light. And as we do that, the way I envision it is then the world eventually is just going to be completely surrounded by light. And everybody will be swept up in the love, and that'll be it. And we'll all live happily ever after. And there are things you can do with that too. I often pull out at this point, I have a little globe, and I just imagine holding it and filling it with love.
Mine's too.
And it isn't, to me, it isn't like it's a big deal. Like you have to spend a lot of time, like I really have to focus and I really have to send this light all around the world or whatever. You're emanating it. And with your intention, you can just bless the whole world. You can bless your community. You can bless people who are suffering in your community. People you know. Just bless them with light. So any other thoughts on that?
Yes, actually, when you were saying that we are light, there are many like moments that I see people feeling good only with my presence. And those days is when I allow my light to shine a little bit, sometimes it's like a smile. No, you don't need to say anything, but you are lighting other hearts when you are a light, So if you are working on being in a higher vibration and like doing little things but feeling good and feeling worthy and knowing that you are loved and that you are important and that you are here because you are bringing love and light, only knowing that when you are really like on that, like you are feeling it, people feels that. People can feel that, So
yeah.
That's maybe the message that I want to bring, is that we sometimes we think that we need to do a lot. And no, actually doing our part, like our work and being light, cleaning some things that maybe are there, not allowing us to shine, and being centered and feeling love and loved, being that love helps a lot,
Yeah.
And little things, as you say, I have my little earth balls too. I remember that we have some life, and Jorge, actually my husband, ordered them from me, and it's beautiful because I feel how I'm like containing that energy and sharing it with the world, or maybe holding my serenity heart, and from that part, like feeling that heart is like shining all around, or my heart is like giving people what I came here to give, So little things, but really, really we can like change other people's life and like other hearts, only being ourselves and feeling that we are worthy and important when we feel whole. And that's, I think, our task, looking for those to feel whole and to feel that we are that light.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think it's a real good point too, just in terms of for having a good day when you go out, to say hello to people on the street, or even compliment them. It doesn't have to be a big deal. If you start to look for positive things in people, you just notice them, and it's like it to me it almost automatically comes out. But I think for those of us who are introverted too, it brings you out to actually talk to people. And
Yes.
then it becomes more and more enjoyable, and it is a way of unifying. That's how we unify too, with each other.
It can create a domino effect too, a beautiful domino effect of just kindness. You never know how you impact people. Complete strangers, you don't know how you impact them. And so just a little kindness, can make their day better, and then they make someone else's day better, and it just keeps going and going and going. And it's a
Right.
beautiful Right, just little tiny things. Yeah. Holding the door
Yeah.
for somebody, or
Right.
picking
Yeah.
something up that they dropped on the street, or, saying hello to your cashier that always bags your groceries. I mean,
Right.
lots of little things that we can do that don't take a lot of effort from us. So,
Right. Yeah. And it feels good
yeah,
to
it
connect.
does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And no waiting, actually, I think that's another part, because sometimes other person is not like used to get a smile. So sometimes
Right.
we give that smile and we don't get any response. And that's okay too.
Right.
Right.
Because actually, when we give without waiting for anything, any answer, there is the time when we really are giving, without any expectations. So I'm
Right.
saying this because it happens to me, and I'm a human too. So sometimes I'm like, huh, look, he's so like angry today. And then I start like changing my mood, and then I'm like, it's not my responsibility. I did my best, like, and I want to keep in this energy instead of connecting with him or hers, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. So there's so much we can do to brighten our days, and that's, I think, for each of us, just to be aware of the things that do that, and look for more of them. I did want to mention also on our website, uh, we have a website at gettingthrough.org. It's gettingthrough.org. If you go to gettingthrough.org / spiritual, there's a place where you can get 10 free positive things you can do. It's just a little tip sheet. Um, and you might enjoy that. And and I'd like also for Gretchen, would you like to tell people how they can connect with you?
Sure, thank you. They can connect with me at spiraljourney.net. So just Spiral Journey. And you can also find me on Facebook. I'm under Spiral Journey Holistic Life Services. And if you go sign up for my email list on my website, you'll get access to free meditations and discounts and lots of wonderful things.
Oh, good. Thank you. And how about you, Lula?
Thank you, Jane. Actually, people can connect with me through my webpage, Loola, Loola, Mora, Mora.com, or in social media with the same, like Lula Mora, Loola, and Mora. And yeah, actually, in my webpage, if you are interested, you can contact me, and you can get like 20 minutes of a like initial conversation to understand if we're a good fit for each other, like, and you can like see a little bit about myself there,
Wonderful. Thank
feel
you.
my spirit.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And you can find out more about the circle at circleofloveandlight.org. And there are some free gifts for you there too, actually. Um, and you can find out about Awakenings Institute. It has a section of the gettingthrough.org website at gettingthrough.org / awakenings. So you can find out more about the mission of the organization. And this is the circle is an outreach of Awakenings Institute. So thank you everyone for being here. I also want to mention that if you enjoyed the circle, there are a few things that you can do to support us. One is you can like our page and you can follow us, I think, and then you'll learn more about us. You can also, if you're on Facebook, share the video with your friends. I do that usually on Monday or Tuesday. I send the video out to my friends. And you can invite your friends to join you in the circle. It's a wonderful time. I thoroughly enjoyed it myself, and I want to thank everybody for being here and being sources of light to the world. And also to send all of the love and light and happiness and sparkles of rainbow light and all of that out to the week ahead. I like one of the reasons we do this on Sunday is we're starting the week off on a high note. So it's actually a larger, kind of a larger part of what we're doing each other or individually on each day. We can do that with the whole week and just envision a wonderful, loving, joyful week. And I wish that, of course, for everyone. So have a wonderful week, everybody. And we'll see you again, hopefully next time.
Bye, everyone. Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye bye.
Bye.